any contact we tend to categorize them as low risk, medium risk or high risk. So if I am within 3 feet of you.
What are we?
We are slightly over 3 feet, I would say. High risk is 15 minutes contact close to each other without masks. High risk is also somebody, you are in the same room as somebody without a mask, maybe more than 3 feet, but for 2 to 6 hours. In other words, it's not just the distance, it is also the duration of contact. So if both of us are working in an air-conditioned office, sitting 6 feet away, and neither of us are wearing a mask, and you are having symptoms, or you may not even have symptoms. If you speak loudly or sing, you can send droplets into the air. And if 6 hours I'm in that room with you, I am high risk contact. A low risk is somebody passing you by, somebody who's having COVID who passes you by. Or you spend, both of you are wearing masks, one is symptomatic, you spend 5 minutes in their vicinity.
And what is a moderate risk?
Moderate risk is in between. For example, you may not be wearing a mask, I may be wearing a mask. And have contact with you for 10-15 minutes. See, normally we say 3 to 6 feet is because it sticks to the bigger drops and the drops generally fall off within 3 to 6 feet.
Okay.
But sometimes the drops are smaller, and if they go below a specific size, it can fly
long.
That is called airborne.
Okay.
And that happens if you do certain procedures known as aerosol generating procedures.
Okay.
Nebulization, intubating a patient, extubating a patient for a mechanical ventilator, inducing cough. If you are coughing violently, that can induce aerosols. So for aerosol generating procedures, this will not do. You need to wear an N95 mask. So if I don't wear an N95 mask and perform an aerosol generating procedure, that becomes a moderate to a high risk depending on the exposure time.
So it's only the doctors that, mainly healthcare workers, sanitization workers, that require N95.
N95s. Public doesn't require. For public, even this mask is not routinely recommended. A simple 2-layered cloth mask is
preferred,
definitely.
Which is washable and reusable.
Yes.
Which is something that I am going to be bringing to people with the Friends of Police. We have made something for them, and
the only thing every citizen should do with responsibility now is ensure that you always wear a mask. One small piece of advice I always tend to give is, a lot of people wear a mask, but what happens is when you come near to speak to somebody, you pull your mask down.
What's the point?
But that's the reality. You watch from now.
What? Are you serious? No.
I'm very serious.
That is the most ridiculous thing ever. What is the point of wearing the mask 10 feet away? Anyway, that physical distance is enough.
In my clinic, every day, I have the chair which is put about 2 feet away from the edge of the table, and I'm sitting on this side. And that is to ensure that they stay away from the table. But inevitably, everybody does is sit on the chair, pull the chair forward so that they lean on this. I shouldn't be doing this. Lean forward, pull their mask down, and then start talking. This is normal human psychology. We are not used to wearing masks in India, and it's something which is very, very suffocating.
How exactly should the mask be worn? One demo, please, because masks are worn everywhere at all angles.
So it should cover up till my nose,
okay,
this part, and it should go under my chin.
And
it should cover your nose and your mouth just below your eye.
Okay. Now there is a new thing called eye protection also for general populace.
A face shield.
Yeah, how essential is that for us?
Face shield is if you anticipate a splash on your face. The risk is more through the nose and the mouth than through the eyes.
Okay.
But we still don't have evidence within the hospital for healthcare workers to say that a face shield alone is enough without a mask. So you need to wear a mask and a face shield, or at least a mask when you are working in the hospital.
Okay. So now that is the way to wear a mask. So if you are wearing a mask, please wear it that way. Otherwise, there is actually no point in wearing it.
I see a lot of times people do this.
Yes.
Not of any use.
And the face shield or the eye shield for general populace, how essential is that?
It is not routinely used, but there is a lobby which says that masks are very uncomfortable to wear for the public because it decreases the oxygen intake, it may make you develop a headache, it can give you a little drowsiness, and people who may have pre-existing lung conditions may feel very uncomfortable.
We shouldn't go out. I have COPD, I hardly go out.
But unfortunately, not everybody is as responsible as you.
Thank you.
So it is believed that a mask, as long as it covers up till the ear, which means it should cover your eye going to the ear, and which extends below your chin, should give reasonable protection. So if somebody sneezes or coughs also, the droplets don't reach your face. And if you cough also,
It
even though
doesn't
if you are symptomatic, a mask is better than wearing a face shield.
Because it can still pass
Yes.
through the pressure.
Yes.
Unless everybody in a room is wearing a mask, it's of no use. Am I right?
Yes. And please remember, the mask is more useful to prevent the infection traveling from an infected person rather than everybody wearing a mask. So if there is an infected person, it makes sense for him to wear a mask more importantly than 20 people around him.
Yeah, but since we don't know if somebody is an asymptomatic carrier, everybody wears it. Since it only prevents our aerosol from going forward, does not prevent the virus itself from entering.
It is less effective in preventing the virus from entering
Thank
than
you.
blocking it going outside.
Going out.
When you're coughing or sneezing, into the crook of your elbow or your shoulder so that you don't spew
And
droplets.
press inside. It's not a pose. You need to press it inside so everything is actually contained in there. Or use your
If
handkerchief.
you are wearing a half sleeve where you cannot do this, do this.
Or even
That
inside.
is okay. That is fine.
You pull this and
The idea is to prevent droplets from spreading out.
Okay, so even if they don't wear it constantly, if there is a cough or any expulsion, they can do this.
The problem is when you wear a mask and sneeze or cough, it becomes moist. You need to change the mask.
Yeah. And if it's a disposable mask, it gets too expensive.
Yes.
So now we wear a mask which can be a 2-layer cloth mask, your pallu, your dupatta, or any of that will do.
I wouldn't recommend that because that is not sitting on your face all the time. That is, you put it when you feel it is necessary and take it down. That is not something I
Not
would
good.
recommend. Neither a kerchief because the kerchief slips down. Please invest in a cloth mask which will cost you about 20 rupees or so
Yes.
and keep washing it. So you need 2 for a month or so. I think that's something which everybody can afford.
So it has to be a proper 2-layer cotton cloth mask, washable. And we maintain physical distance, not social distance, but physical distance. And we wash our hands regularly.
Yes.
Leave our footwear outside.
That is not a risk. I don't believe in footwear anyway you're supposed to leave outside.
Not everybody does. I'm asking for them.
You don't carry virus in your footwear and go and spew it out. No.
Okay. It's only other germs and bacteria.
Proven that proximity is what increases
That's
the
it.
risk.
Okay.
Okay, so whether it is Dunzo, delivering a pizza or newspaper man giving you, the risk is very, very negligible.
Cardboard box and paper.
Negligible. So
So you can read. It's okay if you touch your face.
wash your hands. After you read, wash your hands. That's all.
So just don't touch your face.
Yes.
Just
Simple as that.
don't touch your face. When we have makeup, we don't touch our face. We just don't.
Yeah.
You don't touch your face because you.
I'm practicing not to touch my face.
Now?
Absolutely, but it's sometimes your nose itches so badly that
And then
I
you
have
do
to
this.
use hand hygiene before I scratch my nose. So, we are learning.
Okay. So you don't believe in the footwear having to be left outside
No,
and
I believe in the footwear wearing to be left outside, but
For
that is
custom.
our culture in
Yes.
our country. That is all. I was taught when I went out and played and came back, I had to wash my legs before I came in. When I
Yes.
came back from school, I had to wash my hands and legs. If I visited the toilet, I had to wash my hands with soap.
And your feet also.
Absolutely. I think we have to revive those traditions.
I am going to share you the link to my channel. It's called Mamathi Style. I've begun a series called Indianism, a Revival.
Absolutely.
That's what it's called.
Namaste.
Yes, it starts with the Namaste and it goes on into this. Matter of fact, Sandil has taken pictures of what you just spoke because that's there in the content of what's coming up. We're going to share this with you and you're going to enjoy this. Clothes are completely washed if we wear them outside and come back. Hair is washed every time we go outside and come back with soap. No.
You
It's overdoing
4
this.
feet hair. You're not going to be hair washing every time you step out. Let's be practical. I think there should be what I call a basic minimum, which we have to do. So wash your hands and legs. If you have been to a place where you have been exposed to reasonable crowds, for example, the reason I started wearing scrubs, gave up on my shirts and ties, is because it is too cumbersome to wash my trousers and
Yes.
shirt every day and iron them every day. Right now there is a difficulty.
Yes.
So this is much easier. So avoid, shaking your clothes after you take off. Sometimes we remove our clothes and
Yeah.
zap it up and down. Avoid that. In other words, don't let
Spread aerosol.
yes.
Okay.
So avoid touching your face if it is contaminated. Also, you make it remove it in a manner. That's why, in fact, this is not ideal. You need to wear a shirt which can be opened out.
The
and removed.
doffing.
Yes. So when you remove your shirt, you ensure that you don't touch your face. Put it for wash, and then they should be preferably put in a washing cycle, which is warm cycle or as much temperature you can keep the water so that you get rid of it. I personally put them in a bucket of water with Dettol and then wash them soap.
Dettol works.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying is apply common sense.
Absolutely.
Do not touch your face. Do not let anything touch your face.
Yes.
Wash your hands before you need to. Wash your hands before you eat. Do the normal things that we were taught to when we were young.
Yes.
And just be hygienic and don't panic.
Absolutely. You ensure that you do the basic minimum for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do not panic when you think there is COVID, and do not take things too lightly when you think that the chances of COVID is low.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody could be having COVID. That's what I've realized.
So we approach life believing that we are infected and socially responsible enough not to spread it to anybody. Therefore, we wear a mask and we sneeze this way.
Very true.
Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Ramasubramanian. Vanakkam. And that's it. There you have it. Dr. Ramasubramanian has given us a very clear and concise list of precisely what we need to do and what we need not do in times of COVID-19. Also, do not panic, but be aware, because panic is not going to get us anywhere, but awareness and common sense definitely will. Wear your mask, wash your hands, don't let anything touch your face, you don't touch your face, and of course maintain physical distancing. If you exercise in the outdoors, make sure you're 6 feet away from anybody else, which is the basic tenet of physical distancing, in which case you will not be wearing a mask. Let's keep these simple things in mind and meet again, where we shall talk with Dr. Ramakrishnan on what happens if the COVID disease condition is severe and the ICU is required. Until then, take care, be safe, be healthy, physically distant, socially present. Thank you. See you next time. Namaste.